Everybody loves a great-looking collector car with tons of history that was also owned by a famous person. This is the background on a very famous historical John North custom that was also owned by singer-songwriter Gene Pitney. This video is about the 1957 Ford Fairlane two-door hardtop that John North purchased brand new with a manual 3-speed transmission and a factory E-code engine. The E-code engine, of course, indicates that the car is ordered with solid lifters, 2 4-barrels, with a beautiful air cleaner and a manual transmission that was mounted on the floor. It is interesting to note that in the 1950s, customizers didn't typically buy a brand new car for customizing like John North did, but rather, they would go to the junkyard and pick up a car for $50 and work it into a custom car because that was the least expensive way to do it. Evidently, John North had the money to buy a new car and have it customized. John North's wife's cousin was Gene Pitney, who lived nearby to the Norths. When Gene Pitney saw the car when it was completed, he begged John North to sell it to him, and John North would not sell it to him for a number of years. The Gene Pitney ownership is documented on the steering wheel cover with the signature of Gene Pitney, along with a video of John North's son Mark North, who in the last few years came to see the car in person, and we videotaped him remembering the day that Gene Pitney came to close the deal and purchase the car from his father John North. Another interesting fact about this car is that everything on the car is original from 1957 and 1958 when the car was customized by a professional shop. All the paint, all the tuck and roll interior on the seats and dash, tuck and roll carpet, tuck and roll steering, wheel cover, and the tuck and roll tonneau that covers up the back seat to make it look more like a 2-seater car. Yes, also all the scalloping is gold leaf and original to the car. Just take a look at the wonderful old-time tachometer on the steering column. The car had even had a dummy TV set in the dashboard. The car is nosed, decked and raked, scalloped, dummy spotlights as required by law, as only police officers could have 2 spotlights on their car working. The taillights are highly customized. The Nerf bars are what is used for bumpers. Just take a look at that gorgeous engine compartment that is completely original with John North's nickname Moose painted on the firewall. The car is a 100% rust-free, and the paint is totally original from 1957 and 1958. With all that above, you would think that would be enough, but the really best part of the car is driving it. The sound of the mufflers is almost as good as a Aston Martin V12 of today's vintage. The shift being remounted on the floor really gives the car a sporty feel. Even the control knobs on the dashboard are specially made of tricolor plastics and spun on a lathe to give them their shape. Oh, did I forget to mention that the car is super fast with the manual transmission on the floor and 2 4-barrel carburetors from the factory with the factory E-code engine with solid lifters and 300 horsepower. Great looks, documented history, speed, and best-sounding glass packs that you have ever heard make this car very special and totally drivable from coast to coast. Check out the list of magazine articles that this historic custom has been featured in circa 1957 to 1965. Some magazines featuring the White Pearl,